You're here to find out what message Spirit has for you for this week, and that's from today, the 14th of November, to the 20th of November 2020. I'm Kylie Savage Psychic, and this is the weekly Oracle card reading. Okay, a little bit of news. Need to wish you many, many happy new moon wishes, and may your new moon in Scorpio, super new moon, mind you, may it be fully and totally blessed. If you would ever like to find out about moon manifesting, please get in touch with me. It's such a fun way to do manifesting. You know, sometimes we get all pretzely about manifesting, and doing moon manifesting, you create your own sacred, special, fun rituals, and it's something that's sustainable because when things are fun, you're going to want to keep doing it. I've been doing moon manifesting for several years now. I follow Yasmin Boland's work and her Moonology book. If you get the Moonology book, there's everything in there that you need to know about the astrology and about how to create the foundation for your ritual. Then you can add in whatever you like. I always add in oracle cards, a little bit of journaling, some nice music, light a candle. I put the new moon wishes on my altar so that they can be blessed by the energies that I have on my altar. And I really like tracking, what it is I'm trying to manifest, how successful I'm being, what's right for me, what's not right for me, which is really important to know. And overall, where am I headed in my life? And as you said, tracking the progress of my co creation with the divine. Such a fun way to do it. Please get in touch if you'd like to know about it. Okay, so I think it's tonight. LA has the new moon in Scorpio, and for most of us, it will be tomorrow. Yet, very important, listen up, moon manifestors. The moon will be going void, of course, so you don't want to make any wishes around that time. Yasmin suggests waiting at least 11 hours, so for me, I'll be doing my new moon wishes probably Monday night. Now, for most new moons and full moons, I always work on a 3-day window. You could do your moon manifesting the day before, the day of, or the day after. But really, any time you do this is great. It's just the energy is more specific and tailored to certain energies and certain things happening, like it sort of provides more fertile ground for whatever you're manifesting at that time with that astrology. So it's kind of the flavor of the energies and what you can work with and what you can manifest at that time. But really, just start. It's like anything. Once we get in the habit of doing it, then we can follow on. And usually starting, that's the trickiest part, isn't it? And you need support. So definitely get in touch with me. Go over and like my Facebook page, Kylie Savage Psychic. Follow, go and visit my website, sign up for my newsletter, follow me on Instagram. It's Kylie Psychic Kylie whatever you call that thing, Savage Psychic. Or you can send me an email, info@kyliesavage.com. Okay, so what do I need to tell you? Yeah, so moon's going void, of course. Kali is the goddess to work with. I think it's Pluto and Jupiter having the last of their clashes or conjunctions. Venus is going to have hang on, I got the book, going to check on it. There you go. Venus and Pluto are going to clash after the new moon. So, we've got a balance, whereas it might have some issues simmering around love, money, and or obsession. But she said, I love what Yasmin has put in the book here about Kali. And this is, I'm looking at my new moon diary. Remember, you can get your New Moon 2021 diary from Yasmin. It's out now. Okay, the Hindu goddess Kali is most often associated with Scorpio and the new moon, and the corresponding Jupiter-Pluto action make it an amazing time to connect with her. She's said to be the most misunderstood goddess, but is actually part of the divine feminine and divine mother. We shouldn't fear her just because she's powerful. Rather, Kali can give us the energy and courage to face up to and see off our fears. Love that. And I love working with Kali. So she's the Hindu goddess of, people see her as destruction, birth, rebirth. And, it's so funny. I was going back over the readings from last week, and I think we had the birth, rebirth cards, and I will be reading from Wisdom of Avalon again. And, and then I was watching Colette's Morning Woo. If you don't already watch that, go and follow her on a Facebook page, Colette Baron Reid. And she was talking all about, birth, rebirth. And so often the themes that come up in the weekly reading I see repeated because I watch Colette's reading. I'm really missing Estelle and sending lots of love and healing and prayers to Estelle from Estelle Tarot. I go and watch her readings, or then I go and listen to what the astrology is, and there it is. It's all connected because we're all tuning in to the cosmic energies. We're all in the mix, and we're just pulling it out and processing it through our own personal filters for you. And that's why it's great too that there are so many readers, so many astrologers, so many memes, and all the rest, because we can hear the same thing so many times, but when we hear it from that one person, the message just resonates. We click with it, we can hear it, we can get it, we can let it in. And that's what's so special and important. So, even though there are so many psychics out there now, don't ever think, if you're looking at launching your business and your career as a psychic, don't ever think, oh, I can't do it. There's too much noise in that space, and how am I ever going to be heard in there? People will be drawn to you for your energy and your personality and your message and the way that you relay the cosmic wisdom through you. So, it's like we're not in competition with each other. I mean, some people are, God, but it's better to collaborate and be in cooperation with each other, because the thing that really needs to drive our work, the why that we do this, our motivation, our intrinsic motivation as well, needs to be about being of service to that greater good. Needs to be about being an open, pure, willing channel, so that that energy can be processed and relayed through us. And we're in service to the divine. That's what we are. What's it Colette's been saying lately? How may I shine on behalf of the divine? So if we step away from our ego personalities and just see ourselves as that pure channel, it's not really about you. It's just about your willingness to be of service to others. Okay, and in turn, that blesses us and our lives, It's more fun, more of an adventure. And I really believe that we all need to feel that sense of being needed and connected, and to know that we are serving a greater purpose. Okay, what else do I have to tell you about? November special. I'm running a super special November special. God, today. Deep breaths. Yes, so my November special is, if you go over to the website www.kyliesavage.com, as soon as you land on my homepage, there will be a button that says book a reading. Click that, go down and book your psychic 1-question reading, but I will give you 2 questions for the price of 1 just for November. So you've got to book now. And remember, my bookings are going to end in early December. That's it for me for 2021 and readings, and I will reopen the end of January, like beginning of February next year. If you would like something even more special, then you can get in touch with me. Send me an email, info@kyliesavage.com, about doing a Oracle Wheel forecast for 2021 for you. That will be 12 Oracle cards. I look at the major themes for you for next year, some of the minor lessons, some of the strengths, the opportunities, and a channeled message from the Oracle just for you. That's a very, very special thing, and I'm only going to do it if people get in contact with me and they're interested in it. I did the wheel for 2020, and it's been so amazing to see that come through. I did it with the Goddess Power Oracle, the Crystal Spirits Oracle, and I think it was the Wisdom of Avalon. Oh, sorry, Wisdom of the Oracle. I have to go back and have a look. But yeah, every now and then I've gone back and I've looked at the cards and what they said for that month, and that goes up into January 2021. So I might just pull that out and share a bit of that on my Facebook page as well. And if you've been watching along for a while, then welcome back. I really appreciate your support, the views. I loved all the views, the conversations with Kylie got that I did with my good friend Mel Wheeler. That was terrific. Talked all about hula hooping, Kundalini yoga, spirituality, being a woman in business. So make sure you go and check that out. And if you're new to the channel, I would love for you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell so that you get notified of when these videos come out. And if you don't know already, it's every week. I've been looking back at some of my earlier videos, and you really do get better with practice. This weekly oracle card reading has come a long way. All right, time for you now to make sure you're not driving if you do this. Okay, if you want to, you can close your eyes and take in a nice deep breath in through your nose and releasing, exhaling out through your mouth. Shoulders away from ears. Let's do that again. Just arriving in this moment. And I want for you to go ahead and choose a number between 1 and 3, and you can do that now. Got your number? Right, that's the number of the pile whose message will just be a little bit more relevant, a little bit more pertinent for you and for whatever is going on for you in your life right now. Okay, so did I say it was a pick a pile reading? They were really popular last week and the week before, so I decided to do it again. So I am choosing pile number 1. If you chose number 1, these are your cards. I'm choosing the top and bottom cards off the pile. Okay, and you got 2 journey markers. So you've got burden. That's your first card. So what happens with burden is there's a message here from Spirit that if you feel weighed down, if you've been overly responsible lately, overgiving, overdoing anything, that it's time to rest. It's time to lay your burdens down and to really surrender them to Spirit. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's a whole process, isn't it? It starts with being willing, and accepting and recognizing that, hey, whatever's going on at the moment, it's too much for me. And I need to ask a higher power for their assistance and support. Now, what's a higher power? It's someone who comes along, and just does for you what you're not able to do for yourself at the moment. But it's still a cooperative act. Spirit doesn't come in and control us. I don't believe in a controlling God. I believe in a higher power who assists us when we kick the ball off and we get it rolling. When we open up to Spirit and our attitude is the right one that we need to have to work in cooperation with them. So, yes, burdens. If you really do feel weighed down by something in your life, this pressing responsibility or need, and it's just got to the point where it's too much. Spirit want you to know it's okay to lay it down, to surrender it to them, and to ask for their assistance with this. And the thing is, like sometimes we're so invested in running the show. We run on self-will and ego, and it just wears us out and burns us out. And I'm talking from long-term experience here, long-time experience here. So, and this has been a real process for me to surrender and to let go and to understand what that means for me, what it looks like, what it feels like, how it unfolds in my life. But the thing is, if we've just been banging our head against the wall, trying to get this thing sorted out, and we took on the whole of this project, this situation, and we took on the whole responsibility for sorting it out, and it's become too much. What have you got to lose by experimenting with surrendering it to a higher power? Really? Like if you've exhausted all your options, and usually it's terrible. That's human nature, we get to that place where it's only when we have exhausted all our options, we're banging our head against the wall, and we can't do it anymore, that we're willing to let go. The good news is once you get better at this surrender process, you don't have to wait until you've exhausted all your resources before you ask for assistance and support. And then you start to understand how life is easier, how you can be in the flow of all good things, and life can, become more magical, more of an adventure, and you feel more supported and loved in life. Spirit wants you to know you're not alone. They are assisting and supporting you. They are right there, waiting in the wings, waiting for you to put this down so they can come in and help you with it. Okay, and perfectly, your second card is trust. Very often, we have been taught to be independent, especially in Western culture, and we've been taught to sort stuff out for ourselves. We're not taught to ask for help, to ask for assistance and support. And this whole surrendering to this like invisible force brings up so much for us. And one of the biggest things it brings up is trust. And why don't we trust spirit? Because we want to have control. And why do we want to have control? Because we have so much fear. Why do we have so much fear? Because we don't trust. Goes a bit around in a vicious cycle. And the thing is, how do you get trust? How do you get trust in a higher power? You've got to have that experimental mindset. You've got to be in that place of being playful and saying, you know what, it's okay. And I talked about before I get to this place where I'm like, I'm an expert in stuffing stuff up. It can't hurt. Like, what more could God do? How much worse could God make this? What if I just let them have it and see what happens? So we really got to be in that experimental, place and saying, okay, we will surrender, we will let go, then we will see what happens. We have the experience. Most of the time, I can say from personal experience, things work out so much better than I could have ever thought. And I think, oh, why was I doing my head in over this? I could have let it go much earlier. And that builds trust. The letting go, having the experience, reflecting upon it, that's how trust builds. Got to have trust muscles, like we have courage muscles. Okay, I trust that you're going to get something out of that. And please forgive me if I'm not making a whole lot of sense today. The last few weeks just been such a struggle. If any of you are, empathetic and you just find yourself, even if I put the boundaries up, I keep opening up, and the universal energies lately have been so heavy. So like if I have an anxious thought or a feeling, it just feels compounded. And I really do have this feeling like this is not my stuff. It may be a little bit of my stuff, but the majority of it is not my stuff. I'm like, come on, people, you have to process your stuff, because otherwise, empaths like me, we're doing it for you. And I think we're doing it tough at the moment. And yet, the responsibility is there with us as well. So we need to keep working on our boundaries and keep doing all the things we need to do and upping the self-care. If you chose pile number 2, this is your card. Oops, upside down. See, I'm not even looking at it. It's the horse. So this follows on pretty perfectly. Remember, this is still a 6-card reading. So even though you're looking at your 2 cards from the pile that you chose, still look at the whole 6 cards and how they unfold. So the horse is another message of spirit saying they're coming in to assist and support you with the burdens. We are changing the whole world at the moment. That's a massive task, and we need to delegate. We need to delegate some of the heavy lifting to spirit, if not most of it, really. Let's just be the channels. Let's just be the vessels for the light, and let the light work the miracles through us. So, if you feel overburdened, you're trying to run the show, you're exhausting yourself, you need assistance and support, you've got to ask spirit for it. Accepting help from another, delegating authority. There you go. Isn't that lovely? We're not meant to do everything on our own. And use community, use your connections and things. And especially, coming up to Christmas and the holidays, if something just seems like it's too much for you, then be okay with delegating and passing it on. Or even if you don't really feel okay, just do it anyway. And then see what unfolds. And I'm sure you will feel better afterwards. If you feel relief after you made a decision, you know you made the right choice for you. Okay, and your second card is the eagle. Spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. So this is the help you're getting. So you lay down your burdens and spirit comes in. One saying I always liked, which I pulled from someone else and kind of twisted it to suit myself, was God will supply the power, but you got to build the engine. So what this is saying is the minute we lay down the burdens, we surrender, we let go, we let Goddess, Spirit will come in, and then we need to pay attention because we are in a relationship and we need to be in right relationship with Spirit. What does that mean? That means we have our part to play. We don't just drop our burdens and go, oh, God's hopeless, Really, she really didn't help me out of that situation. It really didn't work out the way I wanted it to. We didn't see how other things were unfolding and lining up, and how we're also, protected, divinely directed and protected at all times. So your message is Spirit is here to assist and support you. Let me know how your week unfolds and how they show up for you. And, it's having that martyr complex too. Often when the horse comes and then the message with the eagle, I'd be seeing the martyr complex. Where are you being the martyr in your life? And the martyr game, there's always two parts. So there's the martyr victim. If you can't identify with the martyr, are you being a victim? So you're saying, oh, poor me, God's really not helping me out. Things are just compounding, getting worse and worse, and I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, how much are you getting out of staying in that victim mode? Do you really want assistance and support? Do you want your life to change? Because the minute you do want it to change, it will. Oh, I can relate to a lot of this too this week. Crap. She said, I said to myself when I started these weekly oracle card readings, if they only help one person and that one person was me, then it was worth doing it. And that's been my experience, is that Spirit come in and they show up for me. Oftentimes, I come to these videos and I'm not feeling great, or if I left it to Saturdays, there's stuff going on in the house, whatever. I felt very self-conscious getting in front of the camera. And yet, the weekly oracle card readings gave structure to my week. They gave me something to look forward to. They identified the energies that I could work with, and how I could best co-create and manifest my life and my, create a meaningful life for myself. So I'm truly grateful and honoured for you for coming along and sharing the journey, and for Spirit for, being in this co-creative partnership with me. Pardon me. Okay. If you chose pile number 3, your journey marker is truth. Oh, and I feel like for some of you, 2020 has been an illuminating year. It's really shone a spotlight on the areas of your life which you knew weren't working, but you weren't quite sure how they weren't working and what to do about it. So it's sort of like the blazing sword of light and truth has come in here for you. And it's saying it's time to really clean things up as well. So when you see the truth and you can't be in denial about it any longer, then the responsibility and the onus is on you to take the next right action once you have seen that truth. So I really feel like Spirit want to give you that message, and pay attention to the other cards. You are being assisted and supported with this, and they know it can be rough. Our egos don't like seeing the truth. And I just keep getting this cutting away message. So I feel like, I don't like to say cut. I like to say that you're dissolving the cords and the ties to old stuff, old relationships, perhaps people, friends, jobs, situations that no longer serve you. And you need to be released to be the truth of who you are. And I really feel like this is really unfolding, and the light is so bright around this. So if you can relate it to a particular situation or relationship, it's sort of like, this is really important. The light is shining on this right now for you to see the truth, so you can take some really important next steps about it. The action you take next will change the direction of your life for the best. It really is for your best and highest good. And that's why I feel like you're getting so much support to do this, because it's kind of revolutionizing your life. And the ripple effects are going to be felt, for a long time into the future. So if you did get this card and you're not sure what it means for you or what those next right actions are to take, get in touch with me. It'd be a great time to book your November special reading. Okay, and your second card is the King. So the King is man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to the law and justice. So truth, to get the truth and the King too, means that your situation could pertain to a legal issue. You could be looking at a divorce, a separation, a custody battle, something about property. But I kept getting cutting, so I really feel like this is a major situation in your life and where it's a really good time. If you get this card, there's a few things that I know about this card. One is go and see a lawyer, get some legal professional help, especially if it's a very important thing and it could impact your life long into the future. Like Spirit was saying, the other thing is it's a bossy male. Or sometimes we're being the bossy, controlling influence in someone else's life. So we need to see the truth about that too. We need to see the truth about power relationships and about control in our lives. And if we're being suppressed, dominated, or there's some heavy domineering energies in our life, perhaps it could be time to see the truth about that and to navigate our release from that. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, so think about it and call in for, angels of the law and justice. This could be I feel like this is a big reconciling to justice, for world events and things like that, and laws changing and the law protecting people, and also, those foundations kind of changing and crumbling and dissolving away further, the ones that we no longer need. So could be super, super interesting time for some of you. As you said, and remember those 6 cards all in there. So we started off with burden and we ended with the king. The other thing about the king is, getting in the legal help, looking towards a higher authority. So if you don't have the answers, somebody else probably does, and it's time to seek their advice. All right, take good care of yourselves out there. And if you want to get in touch with me about my November special, definitely do that. If you would like to join a free thing that I have, you can go over to Facebook and join Kylie's Oracle Circle. It's a free Facebook group where I teach you how to read Oracle cards for yourself and sometimes other people. And I wish you many, many happy new moon in Scorpio blessings. It's a super moon too. And remember, void of course. Wait 11 hours at least before you make your wishes. I'd love to hear how they go. And if you want to share some pictures or anything over on my Facebook page of your new moon ritual. See you next week.